We got an interview with Brandon Williams and Coach Becht, all right here on the bottom line with my host.
It's not bottom line, bruh. This is Becht Live. But it's the hyena.
This is the bottom line. But tonight, for one night only, it's Becht Live coming at you next.
Three, two, one.
Welcome to the show. I am Dirty. Right there joining me every Wednesday night. It's the one and the only, my little hyena herself.
Hyena. Hi, y'all.
And then right below me is the only man that I have to answer to in this co-founder of Fuel, the man in charge of the money, the CFO of Fuel.
Big Daddy Ed. And what you just said, that is not fake news.
Okay. Oh, Jesus. Here we go with his dumb, stupid, fake news. You can catch us on Roku TV and Fire Stick. Just go download our channel, Fuel Sports Network. And, of course, you can find us on all of our social medias, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, all of that good stuff. Guys, very big week here at Fuel. Even a bigger week today for Becht Live because the OG of the XFL STL talk show, my guy, the man that I love like a brother, Arlington Lane, got to interview Brandon Williams. And then the hyena got to interview Coach Becht today. But with that being said, let's get into the biggest news. What, Daddy Ed, already?
And who did Big Daddy Ed interview? Come on,
that was on the bottom line. That's for the bottom line, so that don't count.
I know,
remember?
But come on.
Oh, okay, go ahead, Daddy Ed.
No. Don't let me out like I was maybe working a full-time job slacking or nothing. Good Lord. That's all right. No, go ahead.
The camera's on you, Daddy Ed. Tell us who you interviewed.
Nope, I'll save it. That'll get everybody to tune in Monday night at 8 o'clock for the bottom line.
See, there you go.
But this is Becht Live, baby. Here we go.
Hey, let's get to the news right away. Peezy out 6 weeks with the knee injury. Later, you're going to hear that interview where Coach Becht talks about it. How big of a deal is this that Peezy is out for 6 weeks? Hyena, go.
So I want to start by saying thank you so much, Coach Becht, for taking the time to do this interview today. I really appreciate it. I was so happy to be a part of it. The very beginning of it was interesting from a standpoint of he said Peezy will be out for a knee injury for 6 weeks, but he loves his wide receiving core. I have a really strong feeling that it's going to be difficult for him to make that decision when the cut time comes. So, yeah.
Daddy Ed?
If this would have been 1 year ago, I would have been concerned. But we have a pretty rich stable of wide receivers. So I think we'll be more than sufficient at that position until we can get him back about week 3 or 4. I think we'll be just fine.
Yeah, so you talk about that, Daddy Ed. You say week 3 or 4. I'm looking on the calendar, right? And Keelan says, Amanda, he agrees with you. What is up, Andrew? I'm going to have to agree with you because we're looking week 3, possibly. Maybe the home opener, depending on how severe this knee injury is. Coach really didn't go into detail, which you will hear, which later on you are going to see our interview, or the OG interview, Arlington with Brandon Williams. I mean, I kind of agree with all of you. If this was last year, I would be a little worried of this. But how deep this receiving core is with Jackson and Butler and Aitman and all of the guys that we have, I don't think Jay Peasy's going to get cut, Hyena, which I'm going to ask you, why would you think Jay Peasy could be cut? What would give you that reason of why?
I don't think Peezy will be cut at all. I think it's somebody that starts with a M, ends with a A.
Whoa, Daddy Ed,
No,
did
I
you
no.
said
really
that
just
last
say
week.
that?
You know, at first I was upset when I heard about Jay Peasy's injury. But, after I thought about it for a little while, I've been listening to some podcasts down in San Antonio. They've been flapping their lips now for a couple weeks about how, they're paper champions and how they're going to, they're going to stick it to the battle chickens and all that kind of stuff. Wouldn't it just be fitting to not even have our best receiver go down to San Antonio and just stick it to them right in their own dome? So, you know what? I'll spot him, JPZ, and who knows, maybe next week I'll spot him somebody else. And then just pray to God that it comes through.
Welcome to B-Hawk Live, where Dirty has completely lost all control of the show again, and Daddy Ed is causing problems again for us. But what else is new? I mean, you hear, look, everybody's like, look, battle chickens.
Did you just say what else is new?
Right, yeah. Get them,
Sir.
Ed. Get them, Ed. Will saying local player Jeff Lewis. Okay, Amanda, you're talking about.
Well, look at the comment that's made. Next man up.
Right,
well, let's see.
Okay.
Next man up, is that Hakeem Butler? Next man up, is that Aitman?
Is it Jeff
Next
Lewis?
man up, is that Blake Jackson?
Is it Jeff Lewis?
Next man up, is that Bob?
You're not even listening to me. You're not even listening to me.
I'm trying to figure out which next man you're talking to.
Local guy.
5, 6, 7.
Local guy. Jeff Lewis. Could he be the next man up? What Will says.
Well, someone's going to get a lifeline to prove themselves for the first couple weeks of the season, because with JPZ on IR, that just leaves one roster spot additional for some receiver that was on the fence, and now they're going to have a couple, 2-3 weeks to prove their worth.
But do we truly think that Jay Peasy is like that Justin Jefferson of a team, of like a player? Do we? Like, do we really? No offense to him. It's nothing against that. I'm just saying, without him, you really think that our still really good, steady wide receiver core could not handle that?
I'll go first because Daddy Ed, I'll go first and then I'll let you go. I agree. I think we are fine. I think we are fine with that receiver core, like Will said, and like Andrew said, next man up, like Daddy said, with Bostic and Jackson and all those guys. I think we would be fine. But I think it is a hurt but maybe it isn't because, I don't know, maybe it could be. I don't know, Daddy Ed, what do you think? Because now AJ and JPZ aren't getting those reps together.
Yeah, but like I said, JPZ last year was the number one receiver in the XFL league, and that was with Ben DiNucci. Can you only imagine what he's going to be with the Battlehawks once he comes back healthy? So, I'll take JPZ. I'll wait patiently for him and see what he can do with AJ, because I know if he did what he could do with DiNucci as quarterback, just wait.
Well,
just like Mike says, RELAX. Relax.
Right, yeah, right here. Like, you could put him anywhere, wide, the slot, in the backfield. I literally mean anywhere. Is a factor. Like JR says, the whole staff is stacked. Losing him hurts, but Shep is I forgot about DS11.
Is he like an Abram Smith? Is he like for DC an Abram Smith? Would they be DC without him? It's kind of comparatively wise, Abram Smith versus, I know they're two different positions, but I'm just saying with how they play, is that not, could DC be DC without Abram Smith is what I'm saying.
Oh, Daddy Ed, I'll let you go on that because I know you're an Abram Smith guy.
I am an Abram Smith guy. That's their style of offense. And if he was, he was no doubt the number one offensive weapon for DC. And if he went down, would it make a difference? Yeah, I think it probably would. But I think the Battlehawks got a diamond in the rough with Gallman. And I think he's going to do enough to keep defenses honest. And I don't know. Jay Peezy's a great slot receiver. I ain't taking anything away from him. He was a fantastic receiver. But I feel sorry for any defensive backfield in the league that averages 5'10" to 6 foot tall at the defensive positions, because when you got Butler, Aitman, Bostic, all those guys, they're tall. AJ just got to throw it up and let them go get it. So I don't think the Battlehawks are not one-dimensional. DC relied heavily on their running game last year, and they they should, because it was very effective, especially in the Dome last year against us. It was very, very effective.
But with a knee injury that you're out for 6 weeks, isn't that really kind of like considered to be a sprain, or no? I don't want to say it meanly. I'm not saying it meanly. I'm just saying, like, what would being out 6 weeks for a knee injury be considered without surgery? Isn't that technically like a sprain or a pull? A pull, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could say it is a strain. I mean, Jay Peezy did put on his social media where he had the crutches in his knee wrap, so it could be a strain. I mean, I know that you'll hear it later, Coach talking about it. Says he really doesn't know the extent of the injury. They just know it's going to be about 6 weeks. So if you're looking 6 weeks, I mean, to me, that sounds more like a strain, more than like a major injury. But again, for a receiver with a guy like Peezy, and Daddy Ed, correct me if I'm wrong, and Hyena, you can too. But with a guy like Jay Peezy, you're talking about a guy who relies on quick cuts and stuff like that. So that could be a little hard for him. I mean, am I wrong or am I right on that one? Who wants to go first?
Well, there was a video of Peezy that they posted, I believe it was yesterday or the day before, and it was a prime example of cutting. Like, how he cuts in and out the way that he does. I mean, just thinking of when your foot plants, I mean, all of that goes all the way up to your knee. So, I mean, it could be so many different things, to be honest with you, rather than him being tackled situation.
Yeah. Daddy Ed?
Well, I got to respond to Keith in the comment line. He made the comment that Marcel's not that good. If you remember last year, he was hurt practically the whole season. And look at what his stats were the last 2 games of the season when he come back healthy and him and AJ started hooking up. The guy was pretty impressive. Look at his catches and his yardage the last 2 games of the regular season. So I wouldn't be so quick to say he's not good. You can't judge a wide receiver when he's playing at 70%. Wait till he's 100 and see what happens. So
okay. Now, what the Hyena was saying, how, with the sprain and his cutting, we get people on here saying, like JR saying, it looks like week 6 of the season or 6 weeks. Coach says 6 weeks. We'll play the interview here in a little bit, but Coach said 6 weeks. So you're looking week 3. I mean, with the way that you're cutting in a guy like that, I think that kind of could be a problem. That's just my opinion.
Well, and I think here's the deal. I think that a lot of it will depend on how the season's going for the Battlehawks. Just like the Vikings did with Justin Jefferson this year. As long as they're winning, why not give them another week? Why not give them an additional week? Why not let them get fully healthy before you bring them back? So I think when you talk about 6 weeks to 8 weeks or whatever, a lot of it depends on how the Battlehawk season's going. The more wins we rack up while he's on IR, they'll be in no hurry to bring him back.
So will they make an extra cut then? Like, when it comes time for cuts, right? Because he's hurt. What is that?
He goes on IR. He goes on IR so they can still fill their roster spots. That's what I'm saying. They'll get an extra wide receiver.
Is
when
that
he gets
person
back,
gone?
they're going to have to drop somebody.
We'll have
But
to drop somebody.
hopefully by then it'll be pretty glaring to them which one of the wide receivers are the weakest link. So.
That's my
But
point.
yeah,
So that just
so-
helps. Yeah, it shows up much more.
Yeah. But hey, here at Beehawk Live and Fuel Sports Network, which you can find on Roku, TV, Amazon Fire Stick, and all of our social medias, we have commercials now, guys.
Mhm.
So with that, we will be right back right after these words from our sponsors. And right there, our great people over at Wild Sun. Welcome back to Beehawk Live. Daddy Ed, why are you upset?
That looks about as good as it did when I was there last weekend.
With drinking some of that nice Beehawk Live beer, weren't you, Daddy
You
Ed?
ain't a kidding. That's right.
All
And I
right.
got that, and I figured out how to get that foam to go right behind our logo. So it
Yes,
just
you did. So let's
Bam.
get to it. Let's get to it. The Coach Beck interview.
Oh wait, let's do one thing real quick.
Okay.
JR's comment. Go ahead and put that up real quick.
Where's JR's comment right here?
So if the St. Louis Battlehawks would love to be a sponsor of Fuel Sports Network, we would love to have their commercials on our channel. On that note, thank you. That's all I gotta say.
Look at this. Look at this. Andrew goes, great. Now I'm thirsty. If you're thirsty, Andrew, go out to Wild Sun Winery and
then
Brewing
you
Company.
need to get
this
one of
weekend
these great looking cans right here. That's
and
what
pick
you
up
need.
the Beehawk Live beer. Now, Hyena, we did the interview with Coach Beck today.
Mm-hmm.
We were supposed to have video, but somehow, I'm unprofessional, but yet we don't have video. We have audio, but we don't have video. But I'm the unprofessional one that does a live show.
Okay,
Not a report.
all right.
Okay,
all right.
So if we got audio, then play the damn audio. Come on, let's go.
I'm just saying, we're supposed to have video. We have deadlines to meet.
Well,
Well, guess what, sir? You're being unprofessional right now, so I'm gonna need you to stop and just
what
play
else
the
is
video.
there? Oh crap! Am I gonna get in trouble from the board?
Yeah, you might get X-Nayed next week.
you're talking about a board of one right here, fella.
Oh, shite
Don't-
me! All right,
don't-
here's the interview with
push it.
Coach Beck.
Guys, what's up? It's good to see everybody. Appreciate you coming on. We're obviously in week 2 at camp, kind of the dog days now with the pads and, a little bit of hitting on the field. So we're trying to get guys prepared for the season. Obviously, you guys, if you have or haven't heard, we did have an injury or a few injuries, but the major one obviously was Jakar Pearson. He's going to go on IR. He's got a knee injury. It's not season ending, which is good. But he will be out for at least 6 weeks with the IR process, and we'll hope to get him back as soon as possible. I think the good thing about the receiver room, though, is it's very strong. We have a lot of good players. Clearly, Peezy's a very, very talented, skillful wide receiver that really brought a lot to the table for us in camp, and we're going to miss him. But he's going to rehab, and he'll get back with us as soon as he can, and when he does, we'll have a spot for him. From that standpoint. But as far as everybody else, few nicks and bruises here and there. But other than that, guys are pushing through.
So I'm going to stop it right there. You heard what Coach said. He's going on IR. He's only going to be out 6 weeks. So that's not that bad. So I'm not too disappointed in that. As it goes on, he says that there are some other nicks and bruises. What is your guys' take on that? Who wants to go first?
Go ahead, Dad.
I'm just saying, you know how coaches are going to be at press conferences. They're going to be real cool and say the room is fine, everything's fine, everything's going to be fine. And then the minute the interview's over and he's walking off, he's saying, crap, God, go. And he can throw his fit. He just can't do it when at a press conference. So I'm sure he's a little more upset than what he's letting on, but everybody's just got to relax. We play San Antonio in week 3 in their own house. That's what we got to worry about for at least the next 2 minutes.
Why do I hear our network behind him talking right now?
Yeah.
Why do I hear that? That is so.
Good Lord.
He's something else. So.
Have you checked on him? Is he still breathing? Maybe he fell out of his chair and is just.
I don't know. But you know what my response is to that, Dad? To that question was, that's like you put Coach Beck's probably thinking what we're all thinking, which is you can press that button, fake news, everybody. He's basically thinking in his head, what I just said could quite possibly be fake news. Like, we all don't know. We don't know. We literally are just going by what we're being told. And like anything in the world, is that always the truth, people? No. So
yeah,
we just don't know.
If they would have reported that he had a torn MCL or he tore his ACL or something like that, then yeah, you're talking season. But even with the knee injuries that he's got, the fact that he's going to be gone for 6 weeks tells you that it's a pretty substantial injury. And so I'm sure now the rest of their wide receiving core is moving on, and they'll reevaluate when the time comes. But like I said, as long as the Battlehawks are winning, I think they're going to give him all the time he needs to get 100%.
Well, and he made it very clear too, like I was saying earlier, that Coach Beck he stands by his very strong wide receiving core. So, I mean, he should have every hope in the world that everything will be just fine. So,
I was about ready to ask Amanda if she had a long straw.
No.
To make sure you were still breathing in the other room.
No, sorry. I was hoping to have the video so I could cut up the audio before the show because we have deadlines, but we couldn't get it because the recording disappeared. So I have to go off of the audio that I have. So I got to find it because I couldn't cut it up. I'm sorry. I apologize. What?
It's really going to be, last I checked, Dad, aren't I the director of media and public relations?
You're gonna have to put a fire out, I guess. Yes, thank you to the good doctor for the audio. Thank you to the good doctor for the audio. So now
I'm the one that gets to suspend you, sir. So I'd watch what you be saying.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm the co-founder of this. Nobody can suspend me. That's all I got to say about that.
Except for the guy that's controlling the money.
No,
I can sure dry up that pipeline pretty quick.
Is that what it is? Is that what you can do?
Yep.
Great.
Mama Bear and I can go to the Caribbean.
Okay.
Oh, lovely. All right, so now I'm at the part where our very own Hyena gets to ask a question of Coach. So let me play that for you.
I feel like we got a good idea right now of who those guys are looking at to making that first round of cuts.
All right, back to the questions and over at Fuel. Amanda, go right ahead.
Hey, Coach. So what is the camaraderie right now with all of you right now, the culture that you're having with all of the players? Is everyone seeming to be on the same page? What is your mottos that you're having for them this season?
Yeah, no, good question, man. Listen, everybody buys in. There's a standard and a culture that we have here. It's nice to have 28, 29 guys back from this past season that know what the expectation is. And it's nice to have them. I really have been pushing for them to police the team a little bit, right? So I'll push the message early. I pushed it every day. Last year's message was give more. Everybody had to get a little bit more, one, to make the team, and then also to really get us where we want to be, have a winning record, have a good product on the field. This year's motto is details matter. I felt like our 3 losses last year really came down to the fine details that really could have separated us from being that great team that we wanted to be. And we're really pressing that this year as something that we're putting our stamp on, lower penalties, even though we're one of the lowest penalty team last year, just doing the correct things, our depth in our receivers, our drops by our linebackers. When you get a chance to intercept the ball, let's catch the ball. Let's make those plays and, not have those critical, mistakes as well. When we don't have those, we can cut down on those. You're never going to play a perfect game, but if we can get through some of those games when they matter and cut down on those mistakes, we can make up for those 3 losses that we had last year.
I love that answer.
I was gonna go, Hyena. Go. You started off.
No, I thought that was a great answer, to be honest with you. I mean, if there's any coach that I've learned through, well, now the UFL, but then the XFL for his first time being a coach of the Battlehawks, he truly is a class act who has every player's best interest at heart. And him to say, no matter what happens, he just is always going to be, in my opinion, that last man standing. Like, I can't say enough. He's an amazing coach. So,
Daddy Ed?
I think the biggest culture change, I'm watching, some of the videos that he posts from training camp, and you can tell he's just excited about just the overall speed of everything. And, as we sit here, it seems like all of our shows, we sit here and we brag up the offense. At the same point, the same standpoint, we need to turn around now and we need to, maybe next week's show, we need to focus on the defense and bring some of those guys to light. Chris Claiborne's back from last year, and they went into the offseason knowing that they had to get faster at linebacker and they had to get bulkier on the defensive line, and I think they've done both those things. So we get Chris Claiborne back on here. Not only am I going to ask him if he's taking the over/under on my biggest bet.
I need to mute him on that one. You're not asking Chris Claiborne to play golf with you.
I'm not asking. I'm just asking if he's taking the over or the under. Chris Claiborne, question for you. In Vegas odds at 20-1, the over/under is 1. On how many rounds of golf Chris Claiborne will play with Big Daddy Ed in the 2024 season. So all I wanted to, I'm just going to ask him. Well, if it were him, what would he bet? I'm not going to ask him if he is going to play. I know he's a busy man. I just want to know how he would bet. That's it.
We know what you're thinking. He's going to say, but I know what you're thinking.
P-Hawk Live. We'll be right back from a word after our sponsors.
Houston, we've triumphed. I've made it back to Earth with the cargo intact. The game-changing, time-sensitive payload is none other than the revolutionary energy flavor we've all been waiting for. Introducing Merc Mayhem Cherry Limeade. Merc Clan played a crucial role in securing this energy flavor, and together we've unlocked the future of power. Merc Mayhem is not just a drink, it's a statement, a fusion of relentless energy and bold flavor. The secret is out. Merc Mayhem is set to redefine the energy landscape, leaving ordinary drinks in its cosmic dust. Get ready for a taste explosion that matches Merc Clan's unparalleled power. Join the revolution, and let's unleash Merc Mayhem upon the world. Astronaut M signing off.
Now, I got to say, the Hyena, you hate when I drink Doobie or Dubby, don't you? I'm drinking
Yep.
it right here in the cup. It is very, very good energy drink, Daddy Ed. You don't drink energy drinks, do you, Daddy Ed?
No,
It's a
no.
powder energy drink. It's all sugar-free, good stuff, Daddy Ed. You got to go try it.
It tells it. I heard the side effects on it though, where your head gets bigger. I don't need a bigger head. I got a big I got a big enough head the way it is. So
Welcome back to Beehawk Live. I'm dirty. I'm Spurge. I don't even know.
But I strongly
anymore.
urge everybody else to go out and try a doobie. I mean, is a W?
Oh my
Oh
God.
Hey, you know what? At least one thing we can say is our audio sounds very, very good. It's not very, very low. Like it's, you would think if you're professional, you would have good audio. And being unprofessional, we got some good audio. That's all I got to say about that. So here,
don't. Ooh.
I know, right? I am definitely going to get in trouble from the board of directors here at Fuel. Hey, if you haven't gotten the Fuel app, go to Roku TV, Fire Stick, download our channel right now, Fuel Sports TV. You can find it. Yes, Daddy Ed did say he wanted to smoke a doobie.
Oh my God! No.
It's Dubby, Daddy Ed.
That's not exactly how I said it, but
oh, you just said you wanted to drink some doobie.
Yeah, I can't do stuff like that and then count money or
definitely
figure the bottom line. I can't.
Right?
I can't do that kind of stuff.
But no, go to Dubby.com and put in save 10% at checkout, and you'll get 10% off of all of your purchases and all that. Great sponsor for us here at the Fuel Sports Network and Beehawk Live. Let's get to it. People are talking about what Hyena.
Yeah, you didn't hit fake news. You needed to hit that when she said that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, I got to pick my spots. I can't be saying it all night because.
What else is new? You say it all the time.
Then you'll be like Dirty, who sings all the time and brings out that little child.
Just ridiculous. There is no reason we should be talking about Little Dirty. He hasn't done nothing. He's been laying there in bed quietly, and then you had to bring him up.
Nope.
There is the fake news.
Oh, boy.
Guys, look, is there really any more that we really have to talk about other than uniforms, which have already been dropped and all that? But, what everybody has been waiting for, right, is our interview with Coach Brandon Williams. Now, people, I'm going to tell you guys this right now. It's a 19-minute interview.
A very good
interview. Brandon Williams brings up a lot of good points. I have seen the interview. The Hyena has seen the interview. Daddy Ed has not seen the interview. So we can do this a couple different ways, Daddy Ed. We could play the interview in its entirety and then break it down, or we can play it and then at any given time, we could say stop and we can break down what Brandon Williams has to say. So, Daddy, yes, Hyena?
I just want to real quick say thank you so much to Brandon Williams and Brian Stoll. I really, really appreciate him coming on. So
better recording devices.
You see this? Oh God!
I don't know what.
I got my popcorn ready. I say play the whole 19 minutes and we'll break it down on the back end.
Is that what you want to do? What do you guys? Should we ask the fans? What do they want them to
do? And breaking news, everyone, this little idiot right here probably won't be on the show next week.
You can't say that. You don't know that.
Oh yes, I can, sir.
You don't know that.
I can say that too.
Okay, all right. You two need to relax.
Thank
you need to relax.
Thank you.
Okay, so should we play? Okay, just play the interview, no interruptions. There's one vote. So we're going to take 5 votes. The most votes win. So we have 1 vote for no interruptions. Anybody else? Let's go. Come on. If not, we're just playing the whole interview. Daddy Ed, or I'll give you a vote. Daddy Ed, you say.
I say play it. I say
Now,
play it.
you watch the interview. We do breakdowns.
I say no interruptions at all. Let it.
Okay, there it is.
play.
Three
That's
interviews.
three. That's a
All
majority.
19 minutes, please and thank you. Well, you guys wanted it. Here it is. We will be back in 19 minutes.
Welcome to this edition of Pro Football Alliance Conversation and partnership with B-Hawk Live. Arlington Lane, aka the A Train. Joining me today on this show is Vice President of Team Business for the St. Louis Battlehawks, Brandon Williams. Brandon, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing good, man. It's a beautiful day today, and I get to chop it up about sports and all things Battlehawks, man. So I can't complain at all. A-Train, come on, man.
Man, I missed you for Black History Month, man, because I really was trying to get you, on for this program, but everything is fine. We're able to get you on today, so that's the perfect part. But for real, Brandon, talk about the importance of you getting the Battlehawks name out in the St. Louis community.
Yeah, it's extremely important because last year a lot of fans missed an opportunity to come to a Battlehawks game because they just didn't know. They didn't know the schedule. They didn't know. People was like, "Where are y'all playing at? Are y'all playing at the Dome?" They just didn't understand where we was playing, when we was playing, what was the name of the league, and all those different types of things. So it behooved us as a staff from a marketing perspective to make sure that we were starting to connect and engage with the community, engage with the business world, even civic leadership, to make sure that we're getting the word out about who the Battlehawks are, where we practice, when we play games, when the season start. Because also, Arlington, you got to realize too that spring football is a different mindset that most football fans aren't used to. They're used to fall, and they're used to it being over after Super Bowl. But now when you start having spring football, people start to realize like, oh man, we got state championship for track, and we got AAU, and we traveling for spring break. And so they have to rewire their brain to even comprehend that it's 5 good football games, professional football games, that's going to happen in the spring.
Do you think that there's some kind of pressure on you, to kind of market now that you're in a merged league? Because you got 7 other fan bases, and now all of them will have crowds. I know the previous league that were in USFL didn't have that. Of course the XFL did, then you subtracted. So do you think there's some pressure on you, to kind of market that now that it's merged?
Yeah, I say this: pressure is a privilege, right? So if there's pressure on us, that means that we did something well previously, and now we get the privilege and the opportunity to do it better, right? And so I think the only pressure for me is really saying, hey, we had X amount of fans come to the first home opener and we broke a record. Now we got to do that again, right? I don't care if it's about one person. We need to get one more person in the building. And that is kind of where the pressure is. When you have success, you need to create more success, and that gives you, but again, it's given us an opportunity to do that. And I think that we having the St. Louis fan base behind us, I think the sky's the limit, honestly. I think this fan base is going to represent, they will show up. There's going to be at least one more person that knows where we play at and is going to buy a ticket and show up and give us the opportunity to break some more records.
Excellent. Talking over Brandon Williams, VP of Team Business for the St. Louis Battlehawks. And want to ask you this. What are your thoughts on the St. Louis fan base helping out other UFL fan bases to grow? Because, like I told you about the pressure previously, now it's about other fans helping other fans out to make this thing survive. So what are your thoughts on that?
I think that's extremely important, especially when you talk about geographically where all the teams are now. It's not, we've kind of zoned in on a certain geographic location of our country where our teams are north to south, but staying kind of Midwest. I think that was strategically a good, decision to say, hey, that means that these fan bases will be able to travel to away games and show fandom for their teams even when they go out of market. And to your point, that's going to create sustainability amongst all markets, not just in St. Louis or, in other markets that are really thriving. So we got Memphis now. We have Birmingham now. These are teams that are close proximity to us, where our fans will go down and go see those teams. And then we actually, when they travel to see us, their fans are come up, and maybe there's opportunities for tailgates specifically for these teams and things of that nature, and really create that camaraderie and that sports atmosphere where it's traveling and dudes is, getting buses and stuff. And that's really where the stories and the memories from sports engagement really come into play. And so we're hoping that this league can create that.
All right, another question for you. How, like, grassroots movements like our shows and shows like around the UFL, how can we help you guys, as in the VPs of team businesses around the UFL, help make this successful for you?
That's a really good question, man. I think it's really, I would say, sticking to the facts, right? Making sure that things that are being reported, being written on. Now, obviously, it's going to be rumors that you can talk about, but making sure that if you officially post something, that you've got it, the T's crossed and the I's dotted, to just make sure, like, is this legit or not? Because I don't need, won't even want y'all putting out stuff that ain't legit, and now you got to go back and all this stuff. But I think that's probably the best way to support, man, and probably figuring out how we can partner to sell more tickets. Like, how can we leverage you guys' platform and get you guys a part of the action? Because our media is important. All forms of media is important, especially when you're trying to bring together a message for a league and a new league. So this is very important.
That's great to hear, because that's kind of the things that we want to do. Is we're just here to help the league out. We want to make sure that the league is successful, it grows. That has been the big key part of what we do. I understand you said the same thing about the news. Make sure all the news is correct. All I's dotted, T's are crossed. Understood that wholeheartedly. But we definitely want to make sure that our fans, because they're, like you said, you're seeing a lot of diehard fans, especially in St. Louis right now. They are really gearing up for this Battlehawk season. So I know, like, it's the pressures, back to the pressures and stuff, getting that together and bringing in one more fan into the mix. Give your thoughts a bit on, like, fan networks willing to help out, like, through charity. Because our group is, right now, we're doing a Fill the Shelves, like you guys are doing Fill the Dome. We're doing Fill the Shelves, and we want to make sure that we get good new books and used books to inner city schools in the St. Louis area. We got an inner city school in mind now that we're working with. So give your thoughts about fan networks helping out through charity for the UFL.
No, that's extremely important, because one of our models for engagement from a marketing standpoint is we don't want to reinvent the wheel. We don't want to necessarily come up with all the ideas. We want to go out and partner with organizations that are doing good work in the community so that we can amplify what they're doing, not create something from scratch. There's enough organizations that are doing good things, like you said, from a literacy standpoint, financial standpoint, making sure kids have food, and not just kids, but making sure our communities have access to healthy options and things of that nature. And we just want to be here from a sports perspective, that we're going to be here to entertain when the game is being played, but also be a helping hand to amplify any opportunity where, like you said, hey, where we supposed to go bring these books? Let us amplify that and tell people, hey, bring them all to Arlington's house. Just drop the books off in his front yard in a box, and it's wrapped safely. And if that's where they're going to drop them off, we want to amplify and help people know where to go.
I think the biggest case for you right now is can you, like, detail any of the marketing plans that you guys have for the Battlehawks coming up in this 2024 season, this UFL season? What's the things you have going on coming up?
Yeah, I think, honestly, a lot of the things that we're going to do this year are going to be based off what was successful last year. And last year we had a lot of success engaging different organizations, engaging fans at restaurants from our quote unquote bar network, where we had a network of hundreds of bars who have our schedule. They show our games. We have different giveaways at those bars. Those bars are representing us by wearing T-shirts and hats, the bartenders and hosts and things of that nature. And then having different fan engagement activities. Last year we did an engagement at the zoo. We did engagement at the Arch, engagement at Ballpark Village. Want to shout out Ballpark Village because they're one of our watch party partners for this year officially. And we'll have official Battlehawks away game watch parties at their spot on the stage, having a lot of fun. You may or may not have seen that we have our town hall coming up March 14th. It's going to be about 5:30, 6 o'clock at Ballpark Village. That is going to be a great opportunity for fans to come out and see Coach, get to talk to Russ, get to talk to Daryl the Moose Johnson, 3-time Super Bowl champion. And I know a lot of our fan base would love to interact. So we'll get those opportunities. It's going to be giveaways, it's going to be ticket programs. And so things like that, where the fans can have some level of access to, whether that's coaches and players. And then we want to give them something. If it's a T-shirt, if it's a hat, if it's an opportunity to win a ticket, win a opportunity to have a photo op, whatever that looks like, those are some of the things that we're going to focus on from a marketing perspective this coming season.
That is awesome. And, you know, I know a lot of people, especially in St. Louis, you want to, the crowd last year, 38,000 was the biggest. Now you want to get beyond that, you know, with 50,000. And then hopefully with this 314-day town hall, that can help that out throughout the year. I'm going to say this, Brandon. One thing I remember in 2020 was there was a lot of interaction in the community, where it was high school games, where it was going to bars, going to restaurants. Will that return at some point as the UFL continues to grow?
Yeah, I think that's one of our objectives, right? I already mentioned the bars and restaurants, and activating with some type of Friday Night Lights program is something that's definitely on our radar. We haven't finalized a partnership of how we want to do it yet, but it's definitely something we want to do. And again, we need partners to work with us that we can come and tag along with what's already being successful in this city. So if it's, you know, for example, if it's a media partner who's already going to specific Friday Night Lights games during the season, why don't we just come partner with them, show up, amplify, bring a tent, bring a table, give away T-shirts, right? We don't need to recreate anything. So we are in talks right now to see what that looks like and try to bring on some sponsors and then partner with organizations who are saying, look, we're going to be at these 10 games throughout the high school season. We're going to be at Lindenwood. We're going to be at Missouri Baptist. We're going to show up at some of these college games because we do have Division I football now. And I love the fact that Lindenwood, I'm a Lindenwood alumni, got my master's degree from there. So shout out to them and being able to go there. We went to their spring football game last year and did some stuff. And we was at their homecoming tailgate this past year. So again, we want to integrate as much as we can and amplify other people's mission and vision and help them create these movements.
Oh, there we go. Now you can hear me. We got a business side. We're done with the business side. Now I want to go to the player side for you. You being a former player, what is your outlook for this version of spring football? And that'll be the last question we got for you.
Wow. You in totality or just from, you know, like what we're doing with the Battlehawks?
That a mixture of both. You know, you have the totality for that because, of course, this got to work and the game itself has to be the game. So, yeah, you can say the totality of it.
Yeah, no, that's a good question, man, because like you said, I'm a former player myself. And when I think back, would a league like the UFL been beneficial to someone like me? And the answer is yes. So anytime that we can have leagues that are ran on a professional level that is getting national exposure, so young men all across the country can have another opportunity post-college to play at a very high level. And that's something I want people to understand. USFL and XFL last year was creme de la creme of non-NFL football. I mean, most of the guys, probably 80% of the guys in our league have been on a roster in the NFL. May not have played in the NFL game in the regular season, but they've been on a roster. They've been in training camp. They've been in the spring OTAs, and they understand the level of competition needed for success. So we have really, really good players. And I think as we continue to grow that and build that, more players coming out of college who realize that they're going to get a shot at the NFL, but instead of getting stuck on the NFL roster in the offseason, they would rather play in a UFL scenario where they not only can train, but they can get tape from real game action, showing what they really can do against top level competition, and then flow right into a NFL training camp and be already there. Not trying to get there, get your pads right, get your helmet adjusted, speed of the game adjusted. No, I want it to be where when you see a UFL player on a NFL roster, the expectation in camp is that dude's going to be ready day one. You're going to see a difference between him and a guy who's just been in the offseason training program. That's what I think this league and spring football can really elevate the NFL level.
Fantastic stuff, sir. Before you go, hey, tell the people that's watching where they can find you. They can get in touch with you, social media, anything like that.
Yeah,
give it out to the people.
So you can find me on Instagram at I am Brandon MW. That's my Twitter account as well. You can find me on LinkedIn, Brandon M. Williams on LinkedIn. And then you guys can also go find access to single game tickets and season tickets at theufl.com/Battlehawks, or just go to theufl.com and click on the Battlehawks logo. That's where you can find access to our single game tickets and season tickets. We have tickets as low as $18 for you and your family, your friends, to have access to an exciting brand of football and supporting the St. Louis community as we continue to support the St. Louis community as well, man. So we're excited. We're hungry. We're ready. I think this team, all the reports I'm getting from training camp is that this is an exciting, fun group of players who are about business, but they have a good time when they're doing it. And so I think we can do better than 7 wins. I think we can do slightly better than that.
It's gonna be interesting to see come week 1 and when they take off in Michigan, and then to get the home opener right after that. So definitely, sir. Hey, you're never a stranger here. So just make sure. I mean, I'd love to have you back on, and definitely want to get some more information out to the people, especially in the St. Louis community. And even with the other markets, you can figure out ways how you can make your fan base better as well. Thanks so much, Brandon.
I want to make sure they know March 30th is not the home opener, but the kickoff to the season. And April 6th is the home opener. We got some cool stuff that's going to be happening that weekend. So stay tuned.
All right. That is Brandon Williams, ladies and gentlemen, St. Louis Battlehawks Vice President of Team Business. And we're going to send it back to the studio in B-Hawk Live.
Wow. Unmute your guys' self. Unmute your guys' self.
Can I just say that has to have been the best, no offense, Daddy, interview that I have ever heard. Like, Arlington, shout out to you, dude. That was props. Awesome. But Brandon Williams, you killed it. It was great. And I love the fact that he was totally on board with the fill the shelves people. I loved it.
And Brandon Williams, by the way, Don't drop the books off at Arlington's front yard. Daddy Lane and Mama Lane will get very, very mad. Hit up the hyena or me or Big Daddy Ed, and if you want to donate books, we'll get the books from you. I mean, look. Oh, does this hat look familiar? Does this hat look familiar? What Brandon Williams is wearing? Only a select few people got the 2023 Under Armour Battlehawk hat, and I just happen to be one of them.
And that just might happen to show up missing.
And I will also say that there's only a select few that have the Fuel banner.
Okay, all right. Hey,
that would be the Big Daddy Ed here.
Right. First and foremost in this interview, I want to start off with this. Big Papa G right here still has 4 tickets left to come hang out with Big Papa G, myself, and Amanda at the B-Hawk Live, or the Battlehawk theme night where you get the hat. Contact Big Papa G. He's still got some tickets left. You could come hang out with us. I think we're in section... Big Papa G texted me, so let me look. We're in section 437. So Big Papa G still has some tickets left. So go contact Big Papa G. First and foremost, the thing I want to talk about, Daddy Ed and Hyena, is the fill the shelf thing. Mm-hmm. Brandon Williams said that he is behind the grassroots movements for groups like Fuel, like we did in Houston, where we raised money for the area women's shelter, like we did here in St. Louis, where we did the Autism Speak fundraiser in September. Now, Daddy Ed and myself, we will be tailgating in the parking lot. March 14th because we can't upset corporate sponsors, but that's cool. Whatever. No worries. But we're going to be collecting books for that inner city school. So come and hang out with us. Bring me your books. We are going to fill Dirty's car. We're going to fill Dirty's Spark is what we're going to call it.
Oh, fill man. You could fill your Spark with a box. We're filling Big Daddy Ed's truck.
Okay, we're filling Big Daddy Ed's truck. So, Andrew, we will be down there at like 4:30, 5 o'clock. If you guys are going to be there right here, it's literally, here it is, right here, our Fill the Shelves banner. You got poster. You guys have seen it starting at Ballpark Village. We will be there as you scan that QR code. That is our PayPal. If you can't bring us books, you can scan that to donate money to where we will go buy slightly new and used books at the thrift stores, wherever. If you can't bring books, scan that QR code. You can donate money there so where we can go and buy the books before you guys. And you guys will see that whole entire presentation. Yes, my Chevy Spark. No, that is in the PM. In the PM, Scott. We will be at Ballpark Village parking lot collecting the books before we go into the event for Ballpark Village. Guys, where do you want to start in that interview? There was a lot of great stuff. So, Daddy Ed, I'll let you go. Where do you want to start in it? So kick us off on this breakdown of this interview.
So what was most encouraging to me was to listen to him say that they don't necessarily want to come up with the ideas, but they're willing to support. That is huge, because with Fuel, one of our goals is that we want to make a difference in the young kids' lives here in our own community. We want to start taking care of our own. So starting off with this Fill the Shelves movement, it is a movement, because I would be disappointed if I don't have the back of my truck filled with books when we go to the school to make the presentation.
And the Spark.
But I have full faith in the fans of the Battlehawks that this fundraiser is going to be big time successful. But you know what? It's not going to stop there, because Dirty and I, and probably even Amanda, if she's off working time, here in the next couple days, we are looking into a very exciting partnership that once we talk and we come and we figure out how we want to do it and how we want to work this, is truly going to make the difference in the lives of our young kids here in St. Louis. And all I can say is jump on board, baby. We are more than willing to have anybody jump on board that wants to help, because it's not just about being a Battlehawks fan. It's about the fans taking care of the ones in the city that need our help. And it would make me proud to not only make a change in their lives, but also be able to take some kids to these Battlehawk games that maybe would never have an opportunity in their life to even see what a pro football game looked like.
Whoa, easy, Daddy Ed, easy, because we got a big meeting tomorrow at 7:00. So easy, don't spill the beans. We'll announce that.
I'm not spilling the beans. I'm just throwing stuff out there.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is if you think Fuel is just going to be about putting a bunch of shows on a TV network and calling it good, they have no idea what they're in for, because we are going to change lives. And when I say change lives, I don't mean just cheap. Talk is cheap. It's not. Talk is cheap. Watch what we do.
That's right.
But that goes for everything. Talk is cheap, but now it's time to show it. And so we'll see this season, with everything we got going on and plans that we have for this season and for Fuel. We'll find out how many want to talk and how many want to actually roll their sleeves up and get busy.
That's true. Hyena, before you go, Scott, even though you cannot make it on 314 Day, we will still be collecting books at the home opener. But right now, you can take your phone and you can scan that QR code right up there at the top if you want to donate money for us to go buy new and used books. Scan that barcode right there, that QR code right in the top of our flyer, and you will be able to donate money. But yes, we will still be collecting books at the home opener. All right, Hyena, what's your thoughts on what Daddy Ed said?
Well, everybody, if you are not on the fuel train yet, you probably should join the fuel train, because this isn't just, I love what Brandon Williams said when it comes to media like us, right? People like us who involve you, the fans, because we love hearing your feedback and everything that you bring to our show, because without you, we would have no show. So just like them, without all of you, the fans, they would not have the Battlehawk team or would not have the UFL either. So I just love the fact that he said that it's platforms like ours and others that really are the ones making the difference and helping keep that fan base alive. So pretty awesome.
The one thing that I took from it was when Arlington asked the question, the grassroots movement, right? When we started this back in 2018, 2019 with the XFL STL talk show and all of that, when we found out that we were going to have a team, and then, it eventually turned into Battlehawk Live, and then it eventually evolved into B-Hawk Live, where you and Daddy Ed joined me when Arlington, took his venture to Houston to help grow our network even more, which now we have a fuel chapter in Houston. We have a fuel chapter in Birmingham. We have a fuel chapter in Dallas, or in the Arlington area. We have one in Memphis. This just isn't a St. Louis thing. This is a fuel legion. And, Daddy Ed, you say it's a movement, but it's a legion, because we're all moving as one for the common and the greater goal of helping the fan bases, to help the communities, to help these teams on their behalves. And Daddy Ed, when you told the story of when you went into that school and you said they had this beautiful new library and no books, we were like, okay, that's it. Jersey, when we were talking about what our next one, he's like, do a back to school drive, but then that's what we were planning on doing. But then when you said, these kids are 4 to 12 years old, they don't have books. They need books. We decided, let's do a book drive then. And that's what we decided to do. And, we got our Houston chapter that is they're doing fill the shelves, but it's a food drive in Houston for all the home games there in Houston, where they're collecting canned goods And that's what we'll be doing after we do our book drive, is we'll be collecting canned goods to share to the local inner city schools where they rely on stuff like that to provide these kids as breakfast, lunches, and stuff like that throughout the year and throughout summer. So guys, and the other thing I liked about it was when Brandon Williams said that it shows like ours that do the marketing for us, right? So here's what I'm going to ask you. You guys, can you two remember who the official DJ was in 2020 for the St. Louis Battlehawks? Can you guys remember who it was? Anybody? Can anybody remember who it was in 2020? The official Battlehawk DJ?
Should have been
before you get too deep into that, I want to answer Scott's question.
Which one?
He said he couldn't go to Pi Day. He couldn't go to the town hall. He wanted to know if we were going to still collect books. The Ballpark Village event for the Battlehawks, the town hall, is the kickoff of the book, of collecting books. We are going to be collecting books, and I've already had several people approach me that are going to go to their churches. They're going to try and get their churches to get books between now and the home opener. So it's going to kick off at Ballpark Village, but this Fill the Shelves movement is going on through the home opener tailgates. And even on the day of the tailgate of that home opener, we're going to be walking the tailgates, collecting as many books as we can get our hands on. So if any of you have books, it doesn't have to be the Ballpark Village. It doesn't have to be the tailgate. All you got to do is get a hold of any of the three of us. We'll be more than happy to go where we need to go to get the books.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Just like Jay says right here, that's a great thing, paying it forward. It's not about paying it forward. It's about helping the community. That's what it's about for us. And no, guys, the official 2020 tailgate DJ of 2020. Does anybody know who it is? Some people have already answered Big Papa G. Here's what I'm asking you guys. Let's start the movement, as Daddy Ed likes to say. Hashtag tailgate Big Papa G. Let's get Big Papa G in the stadium. No offense to DJ Cuddy. You weren't very good, bro. You're good on the radio, but you weren't very good in-house. Let's start the hashtag tailgate Big Papa G. In-house DJ Big Papa G. Email Brandon Williams. Email Brian Stahl. Email the St. Louis Battlehawks and say you want Big Papa G back as the DJ for St. Louis. Because we all know that. How about a box of books for Wild Sun? Andrew, if it's better for you to drop books off at Wild Sun, do it. We'll go get them. Am I right, Daddy Ed?
That's right.
We'll
have a glass of wine on your behalf.
That's right. But right now, guys, I want to start. Email them. It's very easy. It's their first dot last name at uflbattlehawk.com.
You know what I challenge?
Mute your mouth. I can't ever mute your mouth because you have all of that panel control in there.
You know what I would like to challenge Papa G to? I would like to. No, No,
we're not.
I got to see that firsthand already. But anyway, I would like to challenge Papa G to put together a theme song that whenever we do fuel clips or advertisement of our events, something that is going to become our lingo, our song, that when it comes on, everybody knows it's fuel time, baby.
Mm-hmm.
And when we're at our tailgates and we got that fuel flag flying and he pops on that and starts turning those records.
Like he said right here, see you on Thursday. He's going to be down there spinning the music and hanging out with the mics with us as we collect books. This next Thursday. Me and Daddy Ed, the hyena, will be there later. So let's get back to the interview.
I might have to be all security, but that's okay.
Right.
I'll be there.
Let's get back to the interview. Uh, one of the other things that I really liked about it is what he said there at the end of the interview, how the UFL would have been great for a player like him to get that extra tape, where he would be ready to go to the NFL, and how it would give him more time to improve his game. And it was great that I see that a player like, or a person like that is saying that. He didn't have to say that, but he sees the real vision of the UFL. I mean, do you guys agree or disagree with that?
And he sees these guys too. Like he sees them for who they are too. So I mean, from last year to this year, and then the amount of people that went to the NFL, I mean, that's pretty impressive. So
Eddie Ed?
Oh, he nailed it there. I'm sure in his back of his mind, there's been 1,000 times where he wishes he could turn back the clock and have an opportunity that these players have. When I moved to St. Louis in 2001, I come from a small Northwest. Well, it wasn't small, but it was a smaller city in Northwest Iowa. And let me just tell you, they didn't take their football near as serious as what St. Louis schools did. And just to see the coaching staffs and football is year round. If you're going to be good at football in St. Louis and you want to play, it's a year round commitment. So to see spring football and give more exposure, especially to the youth, of what opportunities out there. It's not all about just making the NFL now. Now it's their stepping stones. We got arena leagues going on. Now we got spring football, UFL going on. There's different platforms that now these kids don't have to give up their dream because they say, I'll never make it to the NFL. Well, now you can play the game that you love and you don't have to make it to the NFL. There's still different levels that you can have a nice career, enjoy the game.
Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right, Daddy Ed. Another thing in the interview that I found very interesting was how he said that they're going to be partnering up with the local businesses again and stuff like that. I think that's and how he said they were going to try to get the whole bar network thing in. I mean, if I had one word of advice, Daddy Ed, and I know you said it on one of the shows, that I'd probably stay away from Ballpark Village because it's nothing against Ballpark Village, but when it's springtime and the Cardinals are playing, what's on the big screen? Cardinal baseball. Am I right?
I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. I mean,
really? Because I would say stay away from Ballpark Village.
I went to Ballpark Village. I went to the Ballpark Village last year for the home opener, and they had the big screen on the Battlehawk game. So, but like you said, I couldn't tell you for sure whether the Cardinals were playing at the same time or not. So,
that's what I'm saying.
I'll preface it by saying that. But yeah, whatever commitment they're going to make to the bars and restaurants in St. Louis that are going to be watch party sites, then it needs to be a Battlehawk watch party site, and it's all about the Battlehawks. If you want to go to the Cardinal game, go to the Cardinal game. But when you're in that restaurant or that bar at that time, it's Battlehawks wall to wall.
Hyena?
I mean, I don't see anything wrong with Ballpark Village, but I do think this year I remember last year there were people outside trying to sell their Cardinals tickets because they wanted to go to the Battlehawk games. So I just think that this year with them opening more sections for tickets and him saying that you can get tickets as low as $18, get your tickets, people. I mean, it's going to be they've opened more sections than they have any other time. I mean, that in itself, let's truly fill this dome like Coach Beck has been saying and preaching, and seeing those players' faces and the coaches' faces when all of it's going on. I mean, and then if they hand the towels out and we're rallying before, oh my goodness. Listen, people, Get your tickets.
That's right. Look, like right here, as you see, Big Papa G says, Big Papa G will be down there with us outside in the parking lot at Ballpark Village with me, Daddy, and Amanda to collect books starting Thursday at 4:30. We will be out there from 4:30 to 5:30 when the event starts inside. Then we will move inside. Again, if you cannot make it, right there, you can scan that QR code to donate money so we can go buy new and slightly used books. Or like somebody asked us, can you drop books up at Wild Sun? Yes. Correlate with us. Just don't drop them off at Arlington's house. We don't want people to get mad. Yes, Daddy Ed.
You know the only thing we're missing now, right?
What?
We're gonna have the nice banners.
That is true.
We're gonna have Big Papa G. We're gonna have the B-Hawk Live crew there. The only thing we're missing that we can make happen between now and next Thursday, we got to hook up Rick Story, man. He can cook me a fresh hot dog. You know my passion about hot dog. I want a nice beef hot dog that wasn't made 3 hours ago, and it doesn't have a giant pyramid. So if you get a hot dog that was on the bottom, it's smashed, and the bun's not nice and fresh, you know. I think Rick Story could hook us up. Just saying.
I think we're about to have security called against our show. Oh no, people, please don't sue us. Do not sue us. Thank you. We do not need that.
Rick Story versus Ballpark Village. Who makes the better hot dog?
You know what? Let's do it. We'll create Rick Story a fuel bucket hat.
Oh, you better believe it.
And listen, if you guys want to find us at the home opener, we will be in the church parking lot, right there in the Best in Church parking lot. You'll see the banners.
And guess who's tailgating right next to Rick Story in the church lot?
Oh, God. This guy right there. And also everybody. Okay. Who needs a damn sound effect? All right, everybody. Real quick, don't forget to mark your calendars for September 7th. Also, when we have our third.
I'll never have another dome hot dog again after I get to know Rick. Rick and I are going to be buddies.
Seriously talking over his own daughter. Oh, wait. Oh, okay.
Hey, you talked over me your whole high school days. So what do you?
No.
I owe you.
That's why I said, oh, wait a minute. Oh, wait. Let me back up. So everybody, like I said, September 7th, please mark your calendars. We are going to be raising money for Power Play Foundation for Ricky Prohl and his wife. We're really excited to do so. Also, if anyone would like to donate anything for the silent auction, please feel free to inbox me. We're already in the process of wanting to get this moving so that we have a very, very, very successful night, which I know we will because of all of you. But yeah, and of course, breaking news, Big Papa G will be spinning records that night. Okay, you're welcome.
JR, they're not going to do that. They're too scared of us. But with that being said, this is B-Hawk Live. We will see you guys next week. Hey, come hang out with me, Daddy Ed, the Hyena, Big Papa G, 4:30, the parking lot at Ballpark Village. We'll be collecting books an hour before the event. Come hang out with us. Other than that, guys, download our TV channel, Fuel Sports Network, on Roku and Amazon Fire Stick. Thank you to Brian Stahl and Brandon Williams and Coach Becht for joining us tonight. Thank you to the OG, my partner in crime, the one and only Arlington Lane. For that, I am Dirty. Right there next to me is the queen herself,
Hyena.
And right below me is the guy I know I'm going to have a business conversation with later because I've already gotten the text messages from the board, the one and the only.
The laid back, very laid back Big Daddy Ed.
We'll see you guys Thursday, March 14th. We'll see you next week.
3, 2, 1.